Hey, fun people! Welcome to Everything Aj. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Aja, and here on Everything Aja, I help parents and teachers manage their effective reading instruction by making reading easy, making it simple, and making it systematic. Here on Everything Aja, we do this thing called Chat It Up Saturdays, where we like to talk about hot educational topics. And today we're talking about keeping kids engaged during the holidays. Ding, 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 ding. Let me know, are you guys excited for the holidays? I mean, it feels like this year I looked up and it was November. I was like, wait, what just happened? What just happened to the year? This year just went shoot, it flew by. So let me know down below, what are your feelings? Are you excited that it's the holiday season? Right now, it seems like, I mean, y'all, every single commercial, they are Black Friday commercials right now. So we are talking about keeping children engaged during this season. For those of you guys that don't know me, hello. My name is Aja. I'm an educational consultant. Over the last 6 years, I've been in kindergarten through fifth grade curriculum specialist, meaning I have been the administrator over all things teaching and learning. So that's what I've been spending my time doing. Before that, I was a Title One teacher for over 10 years in Title One schools. So I'm used to dealing with struggling readers and teachers, and students that are struggling. So I can really relate to finding ways to keep them engaged, even during the holiday season. I also have my reading endorsement, as well as I'm certified in correcting and diagnosing mathematics and reading behaviors. Woo! So now that my resume is out the way, let's talk about why you guys are here. So earlier this week, you guys voted for what you guys wanted to talk about between ways to keep kids engaged during the holiday season, tips to avoid burnout during the holiday season, or are teachers expected to do too much? And as you see, it was a split vote. We were actually 50-50. And so I looked, I was like, okay, so which one, since it was a split vote, do we do? And I realized we already did our teachers required to do too much. So if you were like, hey, I voted for that one, then make sure that you check that video out. So after this video, you definitely have the opportunity to go and watch that. We talk about all the many things that teachers, especially Title One teachers, are expected to do, and how you can actually manage all of that is on your plate. So if you voted for that option, you are not forgotten. We have that conversation. And so I actually included that down below in the description as well. So today we are talking about the other winner, which was ways to keep kids engaged during the holiday season. Let me know down below in the chat box, what are some things that you already do or that you've done in the past to keep children engaged during this season? This season is such a busy season. I mean, it is literally the busiest season of the year. So, what are some things that you already do, or you have even heard of others doing, during the holiday season? And what you might say, okay, well, what is the holiday season? What are we referring to, Aja? Well, simply put, holiday November through December. We are in it right now. This season, when you go from, really, some people say, it starts in October. You'd go from Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and it's like boom, boom, boom. And during this phase, typically you start to see an increase in behavior issues. This is because, I mean, quite frankly, you you are experiencing, or could be experiencing, teacher burnout during this phase, because it's typically the middle of the school year. Literally, talk about a ripple effect. But the higher ups then go to the principals, that then go to your admin, that then go to the teacher, and so many things are being put on your plate. And so you may be experiencing teacher burnout during this time. And so naturally, not only do children have a shortened attention spans, but you may be experiencing shortened attention spans as well. Also, the holiday season naturally brings a lot of anxiety. A lot of people do not like the holiday seasons as it may remind them of, deceased loved ones. And so you have a lot of personal things going on. And so the kids are the same way. So you typically see an increase in behavior issues. And naturally, not only are children mentally checked out, but sometimes you guys are, I mean, us, we all get mentally checked out when it comes to this season. And so what can we do? How can we literally go from being mentally checked out, being overwhelmed, experiencing anxiety during this phase, all of this experiencing burnout, all of this stuff coming down from, higher ups. And then how do we go from that to engage children not acting out, not doing anything? Like, how do we go from that? Good morning, good morning, good morning. He said, Happy Saturday. Thanksgiving break countdown, 4 days. You almost there, girl. Almost there. So hopefully you can take some of these steps with you, because this holiday season is just like any other holiday season. Even I want to say it's actually probably different than most holiday seasons that we've faced thus far, especially in education. Because you have to think the last few holiday seasons, some of you guys might have been teaching online. And so now you're reverting back to how it used to be where kids were coming in and they are just mentally checked out when they come into your classroom and they're done and you're overwhelmed. How it used to be where it was just so much going on because for the last 2 years you may or may not have been teaching online where some of that stress was decreased. And so now we have a gap. We have this gap from going from being overwhelmed, feeling burned out, all the way to having engaged children. And I want to tell you the biggest mistake you can make during this season that so many people make, and that is being overwhelmed and showing movies is actually does everything that we just said, and it makes everything worse. So when you just simply show movies to your kids because you need a break, a lot of times you see during this season, you're like, oh, they like movies, I need a break. Let's just throw on Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. And what ends up happening, kids, like I said, their attention spans are short. They're mentally checked out. They're not watching the movie. So now guess what they're doing? Acting out. They're acting out. They are talking, they're passing notes, they're doing anything else because their attention span is not about to sit here and watch a 2 hour movie because they are also checked out. So then you might be saying, okay, well, man, I just like that was the number one thing I did. I always would play a movie. And I'm not saying don't put on a movie throughout, at all. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is typically one of the biggest mistakes you can make is feeling overwhelmed. And so you put on a movie to kind of manage your students. And what ends up happening is this completely backfires. You spend those same 2 hours yelling at them, reprimanding them, threatening them. Hello, do I have anybody that can say, "Yep, that's me"? I can relate. And it ends up backfiring because you put on that movie so that you can probably get your grades done. Hello, prepare for parent teacher conferences. Come on now. And all the other million of things that are piled on your plate. And you just need that moment, those 2 hours to just work on something. But what ends up happening is you spend all of that time, that entire 2 hours sitting here dealing with behavior management. So let's avoid this mistake and let's do something to really close this gap. So I thought, how could I help you guys close the gap? How could I help you go from being overwhelmed to having an entire classroom of engaged children? And I came up with 3 tips. And the third one is by far my favorite one. Of course. The third one is my favorite one. So, the first tip that you can do to keep children engaged during the holiday season is to offer brain breaks. Remember, like we just talked about, they are overwhelmed. The same way you are overwhelmed, the same way you are mentally checked out, so are they. And so, offering brain breaks allows children to just spend 2 or 3 minutes not thinking about the standards, not thinking about learning, and instead brings excitement into their day and brings excitement into this season. Brain breaks offer instant engagement, like instant engagement. They offer a mental break for children. It just kind of just gives them that moment. Have you ever just needed a moment to woosah? Well, brain breaks pretty much offer that for children, and it also helps their attention span because you are giving them that break that they need when they get right back into your lesson or right back into the next lesson that you're about to teach. They're more focused simply because you allowed their brain to kind of hold off. And this picture is a picture of one of my games. This is a Christmas search and find game that you can use for any and all ages, so it doesn't matter what you're teaching. Even for my administrators that do like a staff development or any professional development during this season, here's a brain break. Like I said, teachers are just as overwhelmed as students are. But yeah, this is a Christmas brain break called Christmas Search and Find. Kid says, "Sit down. Stop calling my name. Come on now. Didn't you just go to the restroom?" Facts. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, this is definitely the time of the year that they go to the restroom about 500 times. They're like, "I want to go to the restroom. I want to go to the restroom." Because their attention span is done, and they're trying to find any and any reason, any and all reasons to just get up and move. And so often, because of the pressure that you have on you, because of the scope and sequence and all these things that you have to teach, you don't allow them to literally get what they need. And something as simple as implementing a 3-minute brain break can help not only your children but also you, so they're able to get the content that you're trying to give them, but at a pace that they enjoy. Well, so definitely just it's worth the 3 minutes. It's worth the 3 minutes so that you're not yelling, "Sit down," so that you're not yelling, "Stop calling my name," so that you're not yelling, "Did you just go to the bathroom?" I love it. I love it. Good morning, good morning, good morning. And so that is the first thing I can tell you. Implement some brain breaks. Especially if you notice that you're in a lesson and you see kids start to do this, you see the hands start to raise, you see the you see this start to happen. That means they are mentally checked out. That is their telltale sign that it is time to implement a brain break. Has anybody seen that? Y'all know what I'm talking about. When the kids just they start to slump over or they start to move, they start to get real fidgety. It's time to then just stop your lesson, pause, take a 3-minute brain break, play, Christmas search and find game, and just give them that time to just woo-saw and take a break. All right, so the second tip that I can give you to keep children engaged during the holiday season is to offer learning. So during this time period, a lot of times what ends up happening, the entire month of December becomes assessments. Hello, come on now. Come on now. Especially if you're doing like math, BAS, and anything that requires a lot of teacher directed assessments is not really on the computer. But during this month, you are typically children assess, and then you try to offer them extra support by what? Putting on a movie. And so all the like their normal routine that you have built up from August all the way to November has now completely stopped. They're not doing their read alouds, they're not doing their fluency practices, they're not doing um guided reading or guided practice, and it's like their entire day and their entire schedule completely stopped because it's the holiday season, and we're wondering why our children literally are not engaged. It's because the second tip I can give you with keeping your children engaged during December is to keep them learning. So, teaching and learning must still occur even in December. I'm telling you why. So, this also allows children to get the comfortability that they need. They are used to the schedule, they are used to learning, they are used to doing their same routines. And now you've taken that away. So, do not take that away. Keep your schedule, keep your lessons, keep doing those same things. And this is why I always teach all of my clients in Teaching by Design to work smarter, not harder. Because if you have a system within your classroom that's already set up, you're not doing all the lesson planning, and a lot of the lessons and stuff only take 15 to 20 minutes. So you still have time to implement a lesson and then do your assessment. You still have time to do all of the, the checkpoints and, parent teacher conferences and all the other things that are piling up during this time of year. But you are also allowing children to get that reliable schedule in, and this actually keeping their normal schedule as much as possible during the holiday season can also decrease some of the behavior issues that we typically see during December. Not only does it do that, but it's also mentally stimulating. Children want to be challenged, they want to learn. Believe it or not, they enjoy learning as much as they, try to flex, they enjoy learning. And so when we take our schedule away and we kind of stop teaching during the holiday season, we take that mentally stimulating aspect away from them. You said you love Phonics Man Fitness. I haven't even heard that. You said you think he's from Atlanta. I love it. I love it. Get them moving. And so this is a perfect tie-in when it comes to like teaching and learning. Because I'm saying keep teaching, you can also do um she said like phonics man, that's like physical ways of learning, which is perfect. But also, like you see in the picture, I have letter recognition, I have number recognition and letter recognition for all of my pre-k, preschool, kindergarten teachers. They make sure you stick around to the end because I'm also going to share with you exactly how you guys can like get some of these learning games and so much more. But playing learning games also helps continue the mentally stimulating aspect of learning. You're able to keep your normal schedule by still incorporating the holidays and doing learning games. You say he's on YouTube. Okay, I'm gonna have to look him up. Phonics Man Fitness. I'm gonna have to look him up. So awesome. Thanks for sharing that resource. And so definitely look for, like learning Christmas games so that you are incorporating the holidays. That this saying the word Christmas or holidays already kind of gets children engaged. They already kind of get their buy-in because they love holidays. Come on now. And so anything or anything you can do or any way you can incorporate what they already like with the holidays or what they have to learn with the holidays automatically gets them on board. So Bonnie's heard of it. She says she loves the phonics man. So I guess I'm just late. I'm late to the party. So I'll definitely look him up after I hop off here with y'all. The next tip I can give you guys is to incorporate holiday games. So you might say, okay, as you just said, learning games, but now I'm talking about holiday games that have nothing to do with learning. And you might be saying, what? Aren't you all about teaching? Yes, but we all deserve a break, right? So brain breaks, this is different than brain breaks, different than, learning games. Brain breaks offer those are like 2 to 3 minutes. When I say holiday games, I literally mean 15 minutes. Maybe you do Fun Friday all the way from now all the way until the end of, all the way until when you go for, Christmas break, winter break, whatever you call it. So that gives you what, 5 weeks? So for the next 5 weeks, every Friday, do a holiday game with your children. I have so many videos here on YouTube where I'm showing you Christmas holiday games to do with your children, learning games to do with your children. And so I'm giving you different games. You don't even really have to research. I'm giving it to you. I'm giving it to you. But holiday games simply allow for instant engagement. I mean, instant. As soon as you say we're about to play a game, you're going to see this. Oh, yes, 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 yes. You're going to see it automatically. I mean, it's instant engagement. And so, why go and swim against the current if you already know a way that's going to get them engaged, right? The other thing, it provides a mental break for children, and it actually helps with their attention span because you are getting them like, think about what a brain break did. For those 3 minutes, they were able to kind of recharge. Imagine 15-minute break. And so now they are really, engaged. It's almost like going to PE. Have you never noticed that after your children go to PE and they get all of that energy out, they come to you and they're like, sometimes they're sweating, their hair is like sweated out and stuff, and they sit there, and now they're able, their brain is, once their brain calms down from PE, they're able to learn, and they're able to give you the best engagement you can ask for, simply because you've allowed them to get all that fidgety energy out. We said, yes, Aja, you make fun games even for Zoom. Yes, 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 yes. Speaking of fun games, digital games, this in the picture, you see one. There we go. In this picture, you see one of my digital games called This or That, and that is an actual holiday game. In that game, children actually go to each side of the room. So, like PE, get them engaged. And so, even if you're playing digitally, the kids can like hold up a sign that says this or that. So you get signs, so if you're teaching online, you can play a game, or if you're in person, you can play the game also. Even if you have only one child, you can play this game, right? And so basically what you do, if you're in person, you'll make one side of the classroom this, one side of the classroom that, or one side of your house for all my homeschool parents. And then it's a video. So you just play the video, and then as things come up, the children go from the side of the room that says this or the side of the room that says that. If they're online, then they hold up their signs for this or that. And this is free. What? Yes, it's a free game. So I have that game down below in the description so that you can play it during this holiday season. You say, yes. I love it. I love it. I try. So that holiday game can at least help you out, especially if you are teaching online. And for all of those, all of my primary grades, let me just my primary grades for 1 second. I share with you like having the importance of having learning games and the importance of having, holiday games and even brain breaks. And so I actually have a Christmas learning bundle for all of my preschool, pre-K, kindergarten teachers. She's like, hands up. I love it. Hands up. I love it. I love it. I love it. So I'm giving you a free holiday game. And so in addition to that, for all of my primary grades. In this bundle, you have not teacher, oh my goodness, letter recognition and number recognition games. So it's right around now within your scope of secrets. Children should at least know at least the majority of their numbers and the majority of their letters. And so this is just a fun holiday incorporated game that will allow them to practice their letters and numbers. In addition to that, you also have all of the printouts to create in like an Advent learning board. Literally, it is a Christmas countdown learning board that allows children to go over patterns, sorting by size. They get to write down their Christmas list and so much more, in addition to clearly counting down the days for Christmas. And so if you're teaching and you're doing, calendar time, you literally could do this every single morning, and they are counting backwards, and that's a skill that they're not used to, because normally during calendar time you count up, you go, 1, 2, 3, 4, and they're counting up to the day of the month. Well, with the advent calendar, they're actually counting down how many days until Christmas. And so you have those printouts. In addition to those, you also have flashcards, Christmas themed flashcards with the little pictures that relate to, Christmas things. And you have lesson plans. Yes, lesson plans that go along with the advent calendar. And so like you have lesson plans that go with the calendar. You have flashcards, you have three digital games, and I did not tell you about one of my favorite digital games that's included in the bundle, which is Saving Christmas with Santa. So this counts as a holiday game. So and it does have some learning in there. It has counting, it has all these different things, but this is actually a full game. I think it's like 15 minutes. But it is a digital game and it is like pretty much like a scavenger hunt. So if you're teaching online, you would love this game because your kids get to run around their house. If you're in the classroom, then they're running around your classroom. Okay, but they get to like run around their homes and so forth, and they get to find different things, and it's pretty much like they're helping Santa Claus. And so there you have that. And so we do have that holiday bundle that will keep your children engaged during this holiday season. Whoop, whoop. So that is also down below in the description. And so let me know, what is your name? What do you teach? And what are your thoughts on ways to keep children engaged during the holiday season? I know Keisha shares she likes to do Phonics Man Fitness during this time. And so what are some things that you do to keep that engagement going up? Because as we talked about earlier, children are they're burnt out, you're burnt out, attention spans are short, and we do not want behavior issues to increase. You said talk about over delivery. Oh my goodness. Well, I'm glad that you felt like I over delivered on this. So yay, that makes me feel so good, so good, so good. And so for all of my 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 teaching by design, you may be getting some holiday gifts in December with some of these games. So all these virtual games you won't even have to worry about. Whoop, whoop. They said when you talk virtual, they love scavenger hunts on Fun Fridays. There we go. So you've done the whole Fun Friday thing. So that will literally keep them super duper engaged. And so I love it. I love the emojis. I love the emojis. And so let me just share this. Let me just share this. So typically, like we shared, that typically during this time, teacher burnout is very high. This is typically the time of the year where teachers are tapped out, understandably. And unfortunately, children get the short end of the stick. Like I stated, normally this is the time where you just play movies. And how we talked about how that can actually end up backfiring. So I want you to just take a second and imagine not having burnout, not having teacher burnout whatsoever, but instead having a bank of lessons that encourage optimal engagement, not only during the holidays, but during the entire school year. Having weekly lesson plans, a planning system, hours of time planning, having schedules, routines, transitions, allowing you to be stress free, having simplicity and clarity on what to teach, when to teach, and how to teach it, having effective reading, professional development at your fingertips, having high reading growth that allows your children to not only hit their goals, but surpass their goals, and most importantly, being supported along the journey by a professional. Well, I want to invite you to actually, it's an on demand well, goodness, workshop, webinar. Goodness, I can't even get the word out. Called The Three Secrets to Teaching Reading with Ease, because all of those things that I just shared with you are obtainable. They can be yours. And in this free workshop, I'll go over what everyone gets wrong when it comes to teaching reading, the game changing mindset that will have your reading instruction run on autopilot. For all of those that are down below in the chat box that are a part of my program teaching by design, they are used to having this autopiloted system. We teach ways to literally teach smarter, not harder, by having your reading instruction run on autopilot so that you're not burned out, so that you're not spending all of your weekends doing lesson plans, so that you can literally spend your time and your weekends doing the things that matter to you. In that workshop, you'll also learn how to reimagine what's possible and come up with a system that's fun and simple. And you'll learn the one step you can implement to achieve high growth while working less. You can certainly watch that free workshop down below. Whoop, whoop. You said, wow, you received that. Fun Friday is on. Thank you for the gifts. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. I'm so glad you guys seem so excited. And I cannot wait to hear about how your children are staying engaged during the holiday season so that you are not burned out. I want you to say to yourself, I am not going to be burnt out this December. Let this be the first holiday season that you're not experiencing teacher burnout and that you're not tapped out mentally because you have ways to keep your children engaged. So, let me know. Do you guys do anything else? And let me know your thoughts. I cannot wait as you guys start implementing some of these games into your schedule. I cannot wait to hear about how having brain breaks helps increase engagement with your children during the holiday season, how actually having learning games and keeping your curriculum rolling, how that actually increases engagement during the holiday seasons, and of course, how implementing holiday games keeps your children engaged during during this holiday season. And remember to grab your free Christmas game. Whoop, whoop, whoop. The this or that game that we talked about. That game is yours. So that is down below in the description. Whoop, whoop. And I will cannot wait to see you guys next week during our Chatted Up Saturdays. May you have a wonderful Thanksgiving break. And for those of you guys that are already on break, enjoy your break. And Keisha, enjoy counting down for your break. I hate that y'all don't have the whole week off. In fact, it's crazy because as a parent, I didn't even realize that that meant I have my daughter all week. I was like, wow, she doesn't go back to school to the 28th. This means I have her. So enjoy, 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 enjoy. And for those of you guys, let me also let you guys know. I know I shared it on my page, but for those of you guys that are looking for Thanksgiving games, so if you're still teaching right now, you're still, counting down. Maybe you have to go to school Monday and Tuesday, but then you're out Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I do have three well, actually four Thanksgiving games for children. And so I can include that video down below. Not only that, the same search and find game that I was talking about for Christmas, I also have for Thanksgiving. And so for those of you guys that are on Teachers Pay Teachers, I can actually drop that down below as well. I actually have an entire holiday bundle. Hello, so that you never have to worry about holiday games. It's called Holiday and Seasonal Bundles Games for the Classroom. And so it literally gives you a search and find game for Halloween, Valentine's Day, Christmas, Thanksgiving, Easter, back to school, winter, fall, spring, and even summer. And in addition to like all those search and find games, you also have the actual printouts that children can use while they're playing the games. So I'll link that, the Teachers Pay Teachers link to those down below as well. So you look, hopefully that's all the games you need for the holiday season. So have those games down below as well if you want to get those. Well, all right, have a beautiful and blessed Thanksgiving holiday. We certainly have so much to be thankful for. Let me know down below in the comments what are some of the things that you are thankful for. I know me, I am certainly thankful for having a community with you in it. It would not be the same. My life would not be the same without you guys. So thank you so much for all of your support, all of your love, and really showing up and showing out. You guys know it's a hard journey being here on YouTube, and so I could not be here without you. So thank you so much, and have a wonderful holiday season. Bye. You said happy Thanksgiving. Yes, happy Thanksgiving.